While world leaders gather in Rome, or last week gathered in Rome for that G20 and talked non-stop about climate change, spot fires of international disorder continue to burn. We've got, as I just said, Biden, a president who'll go down in history as one of the worst in US history, one defined by crisis. You've got the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, the now energy and oil crisis and the border crisis, which I alluded to with Peggy. We now have him at this G20 lecturing Australia about the French submarine deal. Think about it. The bloke who can barely string a sentence together and who thinks he's been in the US Senate for 120 years called our handling of the submarine deal clumsy. Well, while he talks down to Australia, the leader of the free world presides over a world, and this is the serious bit, which is becoming more dangerous. I've spoken extensively about the situation in Myanmar. A military coup took place on February 1. The military generals are pushing the line that they're merely safeguarding the country while they investigate the results of the last election, results which destroyed whatever authority the military had left. The 76-year-old Aung San Suu Kyi and her National League for Democracy party won 346 seats out of 416. The military have never forgiven her. The coup has sparked mass strikes organised in opposition to the army and has paralysed the economy and brought many government institutions to a standstill. More than 1,200 people have tragically been killed. Now Aung San Suu Kyi is fighting a handful of vexatious charges levelled at her, while her right-hand man, Win Hien, aged 80, was sentenced last week to 20 years in prison for treason. He's the first high-ranking member of her party to be jailed. The wheelchair-bound politician requires oxygen and suffers from hypertension, diabetes and heart and thyroid diseases. He was a constant critic of the military coup. But the heavy-handedness of this sentence has raised fears about what lies ahead for the Nobel laureate Aung San Suu Kyi. She testified for the first time last Tuesday, but the media have been barred from attending the trial. So the military continue to rule and attack democracy, including a Nobel laureate, while the Biden administration, as in Kabul, doesn't know what to do, and global leaders are obsessed with meeting to talk about global warming targets in 30 years' time. I think it says a lot about our misplaced political priorities, which brings me to the thought for the night. Haile Selassie was the Emperor of Ethiopia from 1930 to 1974, known for modernising his country and helping establish the Organisation for African Unity. He was overthrown by a group of Marxist army officers in 1974, who then strangled him in his bed. Haile Selassie once observed, and I quote, "Throughout history, it's been the inaction of those who could have acted, the indifference of those who should have known better, and the silence of the voice of justice when it mattered most that has made it possible for evil to triumph."